As the ghost train ride rumbled along its creaky tracks, the air grew heavy with anticipation and trepidation. The moon cast an eerie glow upon the desolate amusement park, illuminating the rusted skeletons of long-abandoned rides and the twisted branches of gnarled trees. Shadows danced menacingly in the flickering light of the old lanterns that lined the pathway leading to the entrance of the ghost train. A group of brave souls, or perhaps foolish ones, gathered at the entrance, drawn by the promise of spine-tingling thrills and heart-pounding scares. They exchanged nervous glances, their excitement tempered by a creeping sense of unease as they approached the entrance of the ride. The facade of the ghost train loomed before them, a decrepit structure adorned with peeling paint and crumbling woodwork. A sign above the entrance bore the ominous words, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here." With a mixture of fear and excitement, the group climbed aboard the rickety carriages of the ghost train, their hearts pounding in their chests as the ride lurched into motion. The sound of grinding gears echoed through the tunnel as the train plunged into darkness, leaving behind the safety of the outside world. As the ride progressed, the darkness seemed to deepen, swallowing the passengers whole and enveloping them in a suffocating embrace. Whispers drifted through the air, barely audible over the rhythmic clatter of the train's wheels against the tracks. Goosebumps prickled on the skin of the riders, as they strained to catch glimpses of the horrors lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, the train screeched to a halt, jolting the passengers from their uneasy reverie. Silence descended like a heavy blanket, broken only by the sound of their own ragged breaths. Then, from the depths of the darkness, a voice spoke, its words dripping with malice and contempt. "Beware, for here lies the domain of Moloch," it whispered, sending shivers down the spines of all who heard it. The name sent a chill through the air, invoking images of ancient evils and unspeakable horrors. A cold wind swept through the carriage, carrying with it the faint scent of decay. The passengers huddled together, their eyes wide with terror as they awaited the arrival of whatever malevolent force lay in wait. And then, with a sound like distant thunder, he appeared. Moloch, the ancient demon of legend, emerged from the darkness, his towering figure cloaked in shadows and his eyes burning with unholy fire. His presence filled the air with a palpable sense of dread, causing the passengers to recoil in horror. With a voice like grinding stone, Moloch spoke, his words echoing through the tunnel like the tolling of a funeral bell. "Welcome, foolish mortals, to my domain," he intoned, his voice reverberating with power. "You have come seeking thrills and chills, but know this, in the realm of the dead, there is no escape." As he spoke, the walls of the tunnel seemed to warp and shift, morphing into grotesque shapes and contorted figures. The air grew thick with the stench of decay, and the temperature plummeted until the passengers could see their breath hanging in the air before them. Moloch's eyes gleamed with malevolent amusement as he surveyed the terrified faces of his captive audience. With a gesture of his hand, he summoned forth a horde of spectral beings, their ghastly forms writhing and twisting in the darkness. The passengers screamed as the creatures closed in around them, their clawed hands reaching out to snatch and tear at flesh. Panic swept through the carriage like wildfire, fueling the frenzy of fear and desperation. But just as it seemed that all hope was lost, a faint glimmer of light appeared on the horizon. With a deafening roar, the train lurched back into motion, hurtling forward with reckless abandon. As the passengers were carried away from the horrors of Moloch's domain, they breathed a collective sigh of relief, grateful to have escaped with their lives intact. But deep down, they knew that the memory of that fateful ride would haunt their nightmares for years to come, a grim reminder of the true terrors that lurked in the shadows of the world.